It's that time of the year again. GoPro is adding their newest addition to the collection, the Hero 12 Black. Now this is one I knew I wanted to pick up for this upcoming ski season, but I didn't realize at the time how much this would truly mean to me. This is the first GoPro I've purchased since I picked this one up back in high school. This is the GoPro Hero 3 Black. Now, I might not use it all the time anymore, if at all, to be honest, but I keep it as a reminder of where I started. Back then, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just a kid with a GoPro that wanted to record life. My friends and I, we would really just tape it to anything, mount it to anything, do whatever we could to get what we thought at the time would be a sick shot. So looking at the likes of Devon Supertramp, Nitro Circus, Jackass, we were just taking time to do things we thought were cool and we thought were worthy of being on that level. Now, were any of the things we did cool or even close to that level? Hell no. But nonetheless, I think at that time, it really wasn't important of what we were filming. I think it meant more of us just doing things we thought were cool. And looking back now, hindsight's 2020 always. But I think I will always have those memories of when we would just take this little camera and do whatever we could to get this shot, to do whatever we were thinking of, whether it was mounting it to the handlebars of a bike and ramping it into a pond, or duct taping a PVC pipe to my buddy's helmet and having him ride his dirt bike around. Back then, it was a lot simpler. Now things are crazy. Now, while this is a full-time career for me now, I still think that when I picked up this Hero 12, it really reminded me why I picked up the first one. When I posted this on Instagram, so many people seem to have the same path. So many of my friends, peers, colleagues, they all have a very similar story. They started with a GoPro or a T5i like I did, and then eventually progressed into whatever they're shooting with now. Whether it be a Sony, a Canon, God forbid, some kind of Nikon, but everyone had this starting point, and I think that's honestly why I still keep the Hero 3 around, is I keep it up on my shelf, and it reminds me of how humble your beginnings can be. And I think that no matter how small something might seem in the moment, you realize later on how big that can be. So I think it really shows just how far you can take something if you truly love it. Back then, if I would have told my high school self that I had a full-time career doing this, I honestly, I probably would have just laughed. I didn't think back then it was a viable career, and looking back now, I wish I would have taken it a little more seriously. So I think it is cool to look back, and doing this project, I looked back for B-roll and dug as deep in the archives as I could just to find something, and I found everything. And it just made me smile. It was the biggest thing that jump-started my career. This little camera started everything from a creative perspective. I think once I had it, I just saw the world in a different way. So yeah, I guess upgrading to the Hero 12 was a pretty cool moment for me because it was 11 years in the making. So I guess if I could tell my younger self, or any of you listening that may think, oh, I don't want to get that small camera, the quality's not going to be there, or it's not as big as what my favorite Instagram photographer, videographer is using, I think you should just go for it. No matter how small the camera is, no matter what your starting point is, it's something. Whether it's your phone, a GoPro. For me, I also had the Flip, for those of you who remember that. Nonetheless, I think no matter what camera it is, or no matter what you're doing, just start. I think doing that one small thing, no matter how tiny it may seem in the moment, will take you so much further than waiting and waiting and waiting for the time to be perfect, because the time will never be perfect. You will always want to push it to another day. You will always want to say, oh, I'll start tomorrow. Don't waste any more time. Get out, go film something, and just start. Just take that first step. And if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this. And if you did, drop a like, a comment, subscribe, share it with your mom, share it with your friends. Do whatever you can. Just help me get just a little bit further on this, and I will see you in the next video.